today 2 new books in my antique book collection that I would like to look through as part of my normal process when I bring a new member into the collection here. One of my favorite genres of antique book collecting is fairy tales and folk tales. So I'm very excited to add these 2 titles to my collection. And even more so than that, they are related in that they're both illustrated by the absolutely incredible illustrator Kay Nielsen. Most people who are familiar with illustration work probably heard of his name before. He is a highly influential illustrator from the early to the mid 20th century. Born in the 1880s, and I believe he died in 1957. He is a Danish illustrator, and he is highly influenced by the Art Nouveau period, by traditional lacquer work and Japanese prints, and has this really lavish, very detailed, very jewel-like style. I would say this work here, East of the Sun and West of the Moon, is probably his most well-known contribution to book illustration. It was published in 1914 and included 25 color plates by Nielsen as well as 21 monochrome illustrations. This is, in fact, a later edition from the 20s or the 30s with fewer prints, I believe, than the original. And then this here is one of his later works, a collection of Hans Christian Andersen Fairytales published in 1924 with 12 color plates and 40 monochrome illustrations. I don't know if this includes all of the illustrations, but we'll find that out today. And as you'll see, you're probably pretty familiar with some of the style of his work, and he's been highly, highly influential. He worked on Disney, he worked on the Night on Bald Mountain sequence for Fantasia, and concept art for A Little Mermaid, and I believe Sleeping Beauty as well. So I'm very excited to add these 2 into my collection. I'll start with the one I'm probably most excited for, East of the Sun and West of the Moon. You can see here this is a separate pasted page illustration on the cover, and this is actually not a Nielsen artwork. This is by Candle. You can see here illustrated by Kay Nielsen and V. Candle from Garden City Publishing. The book looks in pretty good condition. We have nice tight pasting there. I believe this is intentional coloring on the top of the binding, and no bad foxing or mold, which is great to see. A great tight binding as well. So, and oh, we have a signature. Lynn Bennett, which is quite fun. I do like when there are signatures. there's no writing on the other pages. A little bit spotting there. It doesn't look so bad. You'll see I have some Q-tips as well, just to look in here and just try to get out any dirt. If there's anything. This one looks pretty clean. Wow, really beautiful white pages here. That's gorgeous. So as you can see here, two really beautiful examples of his work. It's one of those full color illustrations on the left. That really amazing detail. I love the very long, lithe style that he has. And then these really lovely, almost geometric way that he presents flowers and clouds and things like that. It's just stunning, and his work has such a distinctive quality. You can always tell. And here on the right as well, we have another beautiful one of his monochrome illustrations. He's a great horse artist as well, really beautiful, really stylized. And this book, it does not have a publishing date because this does have, I believe, fewer full color illustrations. I do believe this to be a later edition. Sorry if you hear my cat. Probably from the 30s or so. This is printed in the United States in Garden City. And I love these little border illustrations that you'll see throughout, which are also by Nielsen, really traditional folk art style. See, I can read you a bit. So you'll see this is a collection of Norse and Northern European Baltic fairy tales. I think some of them have been compiled from various sources and then published in this translated version. So we have the most famous, I would say, in this collection, East of the Sun and West of the Moon, the Blue Belt, Prince Lindworm, the lassie and her godmother, the husband who was to mind the house, the lad who went to the north wind, the three princesses of Whiteland, Soria Moria Castle, the giant who had no heart in his body, the princess on the glass hill, the widow's son. Maybe this, I would say, I guess, is the most famous, the Three Billy Goats Gruff, three princesses in the Blue Mountain, the cat on the Dovrefell. One's own children are always prettiest. And here we have the collection of illustrations, the color illustrations. We have 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, so they are missing some of the illustrations. I do think, for example, the Nielsen illustration of East of the Sun, West of the Moon, where our main character is riding on the bear. I don't think that is included in this edition, which is quite a shame. It's one of my favorites. It's really beautiful. But just looking through here, the book does seem to be in quite good shape. Beautiful illustrations throughout. gonna keep an eye. Looks like all of these edges are very tight. You're staining a small rip here, here. Not too bad. Ah, yeah, this book has been a little low, but nothing that would affect its reading quality. Here we have another beautiful full-page illustration. You can see the lines are amazing. You can see as well maybe some influence from Japanese woodblock prints. This really incredible geometric style. Love that, and it says Kay Nielsen 13. Oh, this one's one of my favorites, really gorgeous. A lot of influence from traditional fabrics and designs as well. Really gorgeous level of detail here. I love how soft and dreamy the printing is. I think its original illustrations were in watercolor and they really captured that soft and jewel-like quality. I'm really pleased with how bright all these pages are. I don't even see a lot of dirt or tear. Everything seems really nice and tight. Oh, really beautiful. I love all of these. It's so lush and again so detailed. Oh, that one's great. Look at that knife. That's beautiful. Really beautiful. Such a great shape language as well. Even in black and white, it's very powerful. I'll admit I haven't read these before, so I have read East of the Sun, West of the Moon, but the Lind one, for example, I'm not quite familiar with. I'm very excited to get to read through these. Lovely again. Oh, this one also really, really gorgeous. The way that the foliage and the ground cover is represented. It's just really so detailed. And these long, high figures. Really wonderful. See here. Just a little bit of something stuck in there, but all good. All good. And cleaned up. Oh no. The three princesses of Whiteland. She looks like a mermaid of some kind. This is another one of the most famous, I would say, of his illustrations. This figure, a halo-like shield, his snow skis. It's really very unique, very northern European. I love this cloak that he has here. Another one. Let's see. This copy has definitely been loved and read. this is maybe my favorite. I love how the mountain is shown, and each of these brothers, they're very different personalities and clothing. You can tell that Kay Nielsen really loves historical art, historical dress. I just think this is such a decadent and wonderful representation. Even the styles of the hats, big fur caps. They have a lot of like local character for, maybe more Polish or Turkic. Everyone has their own slightly different flair to them, which I think is so cool. This is great too. What a great horse. I really love illustration work, as I mentioned. So I've collected a couple of different illustrators. I'm very excited to begin on my Kay Nielsen collection journey. I will say he's probably the most well-known of the illustrators that I currently collect, and the first edition copies are quite expensive, so I know this one does not have all of the illustrations in the original printed, but this was quite a deal compared to some of those volumes go for hundreds, if not low, four figures. So that's a bit out of my budget, and I got quite a good deal on this copy, so I'm very happy to just at least have his wonderful fairy tales and some of his beautiful work. I also love fairy tales from around the world, so this one's great. What a great page with these two. Really gorgeous. This reminds me a lot of the way Japanese and Chinese horses are depicted. Really muscular with them. But I'm very happy to have fairy tales from a variety of areas. So, really interested in some of these more Nordic stories. Christian Andersen, very well known, very well loved, but I think more specific fairy tales, like regional varieties, are maybe a bit more exciting. Really, really cool image as well. The three belly cats graph. Big trolleys. Trip, trap, trap, trip, trap. Who's that driving over my bridge? It's I, Billy Goat Gruff. It's quite fun. I like how you draw struggles. It's quite fun. I think it has a very Disney quality to it. And we are right at the end. pages intact. Great clean binding as well. Very excited to have her in my collection. And I think this cover illustration is quite beautiful still, even if it isn't a Nielsen work. Very bright, very poppy colors, a little bit psychedelic almost. Really beautiful. Now here we'll trade her out. Use this one to rest. This is, as mentioned, a later work. It's originally published in 1924. I don't know if this is the first edition. My guess is no. I believe this is probably also from the 30s, maybe the early 40s. It's not in quite as good condition. You have some staining here. But at least the bright orange design here is still nice and sharp. Pretty good binding as well. This is also Girded City. Same publisher. A little bit staining on the back as well. Let's start a new one. So we're definitely a little rougher. We also have some denting on the corners, but it's not too bad. We do not have that color on the top, and we actually have rougher binding on the bottom and sides, but overall it just looked pretty good. It's all still intact. I don't think this was as well constructed as the original, as this book is. But look at those end papers. This is gorgeous. Gorgeous. This is very Kay Nielsen as well. I love those monsters or trolls here. And beautiful nights. Really fun. Careful. Yeah. So it looks like we're coming away from the binding a bit. I'll just have to be careful with that. I might actually switch these back just so I can rest this one here. There we go. This is a beautiful image. I really love this. A slightly different style, but that's still really soft watercolor look. This dog is crazy. Beautiful, beautiful colors. Shame we have a bit of loose binding here, but careful. It looks like the rest of the book is still relatively tight, and I can tell this one's not as well made. It's not as evenly cut. I know this is a stylistic choice to do these rougher edges, but even the papers are not evenly cut. Copyright 1924. Again, I don't know if this is an original. You can see maybe if it has the same number of illustrations. This book includes the tinderbox, Great Grouse and Little Grouse, the Real Princess, the Hardy Tin Soldier, which is one of my favorites from Christian Andersen, the Flying Trunk, Old Rugoy, the Swineherd, the Nightingale, the Snow Queen, which became the movie Frozen, the Red Shoes, which is another one of my favorites, the Shepherdess and the Chimney Sweeper, the Shadow, the Shirt Collar, the Bottleneck, elder tree mother, the story of a mother. Let's see, the original I think has 12 illustrations for this, so we'll see how many we have here. And then many monochrome illustrations. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So again, it is a limited reproduction of the original illustrations. But really fun, really pretty frontispieces here in a very different style than what we saw in East of the Sun, West of the Moon. It's more, I would say, 19th century style illustration work. Really lovely. Oh, they're great. They're great. I love the Tin Soldier. So, Christian Andersen. This maple, so cute with the little teeth. Oh, that's clear. It's still pretty tight. Yeah, look at all of these. They're very different sizes. There. It's quite fun. Great Klaus and little Klaus. I was not as much Hans Christian Andersen child growing up, I'll say. I definitely loved folk tales and fairy tales, but as I mentioned, I like them from around the world. And I would say these are more the classic, everybody knows these stories, so not the ones that I would always come back to. Oh, here we have another full page illustration. She looks like the princess and the bee. And then give me very badly indeed. I scarcely closed my eyes the whole night through. I do not know what was in my bed. Ah, here's one of my favorites, the Tin Soldier and his paper ballerina. I think it's so sweet. I love a tragic love story. Oh, look at that. The draft of air caught the dancer and she flew like a sylph just into the stove, to the Tin Soldier. This one's quite fun. Instead of a flying carpet, you can have your flying trunk. I'm pleased to see that, at least inside, the book seems to be in pretty good shape. I see some of the ink is wearing onto the other side of the page. It's interesting, very bare compared to some of the other illustrations, but really, really lovely colors. Oh, this one's beautiful. And I really love this geometric suggestion of depth and forms. Feels like a Persian rug or like a Chinese landscape painting. So dreamy. These princesses in this pink tower, little sailboat. Really, really lovely. Yeah, this one coming away from the binding here as well a little bit. So I'll have to be quite careful when I read. I don't take any of my antique books outside. They all stay inside to read. And usually upright on a table. So I do try to be pretty careful. This is a great image. I love these little pigs. Really good character work, I'd say. So much expression. Guess all is lost. Some never nice now. She's so pretty, like a little cake. All is lost. Again. Very moody. It's maybe not a depiction you would see nowadays. For the best. That's quite pretty. And really dreamy use of colors. Soft, melancholy blues. I love the way that these willows are represented. The paper is still quite bright, which is great. You don't have a lot of staining throughout. Quite happy with that. Interesting for the religious image here for the Snow Queen. The Lapland woman in a Finland. Oh, that's gorgeous. Really evocative. I love, again, the way he's depicting these trees. And this is one of my favorite movies as well. A really amazing dance movie. It has one of the best dance sequences ever put on film. Oh, I love that with the clouds. Look at the mirror in there, just little eyes peeking over. Very, very pretty. The devil's tail, fighting his tinderbox. The shadow. I don't know a few of these. I'll put this in my reading list as well. Absolutely. I try not to get books that I'm not interested in the subject matter. I do hope to read all of my antique books. I do try to get them in a readable condition. This is very funny as well. Bottleneck. Oh, that's great. This is very 19th century, isn't it? It's a big dramatic shipwreck in the bottle. This couple here. Really wonderful. beautiful use of negative space. So cool. So both of these books are in great condition given their age, so I'll be a little more careful. Got really nice, crisp pages. Come on, that's all right. There we are. Another beautiful paper here. I think that's so lovely. This color is gorgeous, and I love these notes up at the top. They feel more similar to me to the style of East of the Sun, West of the Moon. But really beautiful. Thank you for joining me to inspect some new members of my collection and give a little love to an incredibly talented and influential illustrator. I'm really excited to have a bit of his work in my collection and to dive into some of these fairy tales that I may not have read originally as a child. Both of these books looked good. They don't have any mold or boxing or signs of bugs, so I'm confident in putting them in with the rest of their family until I can take them out to enjoy them later. Thank you for joining me to see a little bit more of the Magpie's collection.